If you're a detailer just getting started, this video is for you. You know, when I first started in sales, I felt very awkward. I worked a very high pressure sales job where they basically just gave us a pitch and said, okay, go make thousands. And those miserable 2 years of working 11-hour days, 6 days a week, is what taught me a concept that I use to this day. And it's that people buy with emotion and justify with logic. That is the case. That will forever be the case. If your customers love your work, but you feel nervous about selling, this video is for you. By the end of this session, you will know how all human beings buy, which will be your stepping stone to make selling your second nature. You already know that my name is Shai Sensei, and I help detailers scale their business. And because we're both business owners, there are no long introductions. We are starting now. And the concept is actually very simple. When your customers call you, they have a problem they want to solve. We've talked in other videos and in the Power Pitch book about how these problems are mostly emotional. But from a high level, your customer thinks, my car is dirty, which means that other people's probably look down on me. I need to fix it because I want others to notice me when I drive by. As a side note, different customers will have different problems, but they're all solved with a detail. This is essentially the foundation of revenue streams, but it's something that we're going to touch on later. But here's what they're not thinking about: how you get them the result they want, or what tools do you use. In other words, they don't care about 90% of what the average detailer tells them. The reason I choose this topic for all beginners is this: when you lead with the problem and not with your service, you instantly have their attention. Because now you're not trying to sell them anything, you are trying to help them solve a problem. And surprise, surprise, but that problem can be solved with giving you money. In other words, once you understand what you're solving for, you have the freedom to offer them services and push on certain things. Because remember, you're not selling, you're solving a problem. And this little mind shift is how you make selling feel comfortable and natural. I mean, here's an example you can relate to. Imagine you played football and you pulled a muscle. You went for the ball, you got the touchdown, and you won the game, but you still pulled a muscle. So you can't sleep too well, so your natural step is to go to the doctor. Here are two possible scenarios for you. The doctor says you have inflammation, take this pill, and in a few days you'll be able to sleep like normal. There are no side effects. But what if the doctor says you have inflammation? This pill targets your tissues and sends red blood cells into that area. It will also trigger your body to prevent adenosine from being broken down. Based on the second example, did you understand how it will make you feel better? Did you even understand that it will make you feel better? What's in your mind is being able to sleep, being able to function, and probably get back to that field. Whether it's one pill or five doesn't matter, and who cares about tissues and adenosine? Side note, adenosine makes you feel sleepy, but caffeine blocks it. In other words, caffeine doesn't wake you up, it just unsleeps you. And yes, I know you didn't ask. Now, I know there's going to be somebody in the comments saying, but Shai, my stuff is simple. Everybody knows basic detailing lingo. And while I can prove this is not true, this isn't the point. The point is that the biggest mistake beginner detailers make is focus too much on the road and less about the end result. So there are two main ways you can take advantage of this problem-solving approach. The first one is about building specific packages around specific problems. And for context, this is about 80% of what I do as a professional marketer. This is what I spend the most amount of time in my own businesses because this is how you build predictable income. So let's look at what actually is happening inside somebody's head when they're thinking about getting a detail. And for this example, we will use a pet owner. Your customer has many symptoms to their problem. Their car is musty, there's dog hair everywhere, mud on the seats, the list goes on and on and on. If you have just a simple one-size-fits-all, then your customer has to do all the thinking work. They have to write their own prescription. Does a regular detail solve the problem? Does it remove the smell? Do they need to get a million different add-ons? What even if they miss one and it doesn't even solve the problem? Then it's the customer's fault. Remember, your customer doesn't know how to solve their problem. They maybe have an idea, but they don't know what the right steps to take. Just like in the doctor example, all they know is that they're in pain and they can't sleep. Everything else That's a mystery. But what most detailers end up doing is forcing their customers to do a lot of this heavy thinking. But now, let's compare it to somebody who's being offered a package that is specifically built for their situation. They don't have to do any thinking. Also, they don't have to worry about missing anything because this package is built specifically around them. And because this problem is around the package, you can later offer them upsells or even recurring revenue because this is something they need. If you need surgery, the doctor doesn't care about the price. This is what's right for you, and it gives him the freedom to convince you. And you get the same benefit because if the service is right for them, you have the confidence and you have the pride to offer it to them. Again, you're not selling and you're not pushing. You are helping them solve a problem. And as a free bonus, you can replicate this with many different problems. This is something I learned from owning my restaurants. You're using the same ingredients, but you're creating different dishes. For example, whether you clean a minivan for a mom or a work truck, you will probably shampoo both cars. You'll use the same chemicals or follow the same processes. It's basically the same thing, just with minor changes to each one of them. But to each one of these customers, this is a solution specifically for them. That means it's something that is very easy to sell, usually even more profitable, but costs you just the same. Now, as a side note, these packages aren't going to be as popular as your main packages, and that's okay. You will use these to fill little holes in your calendar and increase your average ticket size. Now that you know how to use this concept as a long-term strategy, let's focus on the right here, right now. If your customers love your work and you've worked so far, you can check out the free knowledge library and the first link to start building for the future. But for today, the easiest way for us to learn this is to have a mock conversation so you can see how this works in real life. From a high level, we have a very simple task. We want to understand what is the problem. The more info you have, the easier it will be for you to sell, and the more your customers will appreciate you actually trying to help them. I always tell clients, don't think about selling. Think about solving problems.
Hi, this is Mike from Shine Right Detailing. I saw you fill the form on our website. I just wanted to give you a quick call and see how I can help.
Oh, hey, thanks for calling. Yeah, I was just curious. How much is a full interior for a minivan?
Sure. Can I ask, what inspired you to get it detailed?
Well, what do you mean?
Did something happen in the car, like an incident? Or is it just dirty enough that it's just time to get it cleaned?
Yeah, honestly, it's a mess. I've got two little ones that are between soccer snacks, spilled milk, and everything that's stuck to the floor in the back. I just couldn't take it anymore. It's really embarrassing at this point.
And is that something that happens pretty regularly?
Well, I'm pretty good at keeping it clean in the beginning, but then I get busy and end up having to do a deep clean about twice a year.
I hear you, and you're definitely not alone. We help out a lot of parents in the exact same situation. That's why we actually created the Family Car Recent package. It's made specifically for busy parents. It cleans all the kid zones, tackles stains, gets into the cup holders under the seats, and leaves really everything fresh and clean again. We then also apply a water-resistant layer on your carpet to give you the extra time before it soaks in.
Oh wow, that sounds exactly like what I mean.
Perfect. This package starts at $275, and depending on the condition, it could go up just a little bit. But that covers everything we just talked about. We are usually booked out 3 and 5 days in advance. Do you want me to check some availability?
Yes, please. That sounds great.
I want you to notice what we did here. If this was any other detailer, he would have probably just gave them the price of an interior and just moved on. Maybe he would try to push an exterior, something he would have failed at. I want you to notice how warm her tone is to you. Even if you can't upsell anything, you can simply do a great job and have her refer you to other mom that she knows. Another thing, and probably the most important, is that you found out that she does a deep clean twice a year. That means that you can reach out to her in the future and bring her back for a full price detail. And this is essentially how you build recurring revenue.